Hey everyone, Reddy Linx here. Welcome back to another Choose Your Own Adventure story. This is number 20. Hopefully Topsy Turvy will be joining us soon. Today's story is Weekend at Poison Lake. Alright, here's
Hey man,
Topsy Turvy.
you alright? You doing good?
Yep,
That's good.
you're just in time.
Uh, yippee.
Anyways, this is another special edition book. This is number 8.
Mm-hmm. I see.
So, without further ado, I'm going to read the Beware page and for all of you who are new to this series, basically me and the guests will try to get one good ending in these books with 3 tries. So if we get 2 bad endings, then that's okay. But the third ending we get, that's it. So, without further ado, let's read the Beware page. Alright. This is another physical copy I'm using, by the way.
That's good. Nice.
Alright. Beware. Do not read this book from beginning to end. Feeling lucky? That's good, because in this special edition of Give Yourself Goosebumps, you have a chance to choose from 4 different lucky numbers, and then read 4 different short stories that all take place at Poison Lake. As you read the stories, your number may help you survive your adventure at the lake. Will you find yourself chased by the dreaded Moss Man, who is said to roam the shores of Poison Lake? Or will you uncover stolen jewels and the thieves who took them while going for a little swim? This scary adventure is all about you. You decide what will happen, and you decide how terrifying the scares will be. Start on page 1, then follow the instructions at the bottom of each page. You make the choices. If you choose well, you'll make it home again. But if you make the wrong decisions, beware. So, take a deep breath, cross your fingers, and turn to page 1 to give yourself goosebumps. So this looks like we're gonna choose 1 to 4 different storylines.
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, basically.
This is a special edition, so I guess that's why it's special.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna put the. I'm gonna need you guys to keep in mind of this. Listen carefully, and let's get started. Starting on page 1. Actually, hold on a second. Okay, I'm ready. Let's go to page 1. Before you visit Poison Lake, choose a lucky number. If you're lucky, your lucky number will help you survive your adventure. But will your lucky number always work for you? That's the risk you'll have to take. The 4 lucky numbers are 2, 3, 4, and 5. Each number goes with a story that begins on that page. Choose one and then turn to the same page number. For instance, if you choose lucky number 2, you'll turn to page 2. Number 2 will be your luck Number 2 will be your lucky number for the rest of the story. It's time to decide. Pick a number, then get ready to dive into the horrors of Poison Lake. All right, we get to choose between 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Hmm. Okay. Okay, so three. So 4 numbers,
There is
okay.
there is no telling what these stories contain. It's just
Yeah. Yeah, it's
I
just
mean, do you have anything with the twos, threes, fours, and fives?
I don't know. I mean, free's like meant to be lucky, I guess you can say. But like, apart from that, like, I don't know. There's no like clear like reason to pick one sort of number.
All right, I'm just gonna spin one of the. I'm gonna spin a random spinner, and whatever number that lands on, then that's the number we go to.
Fair.
All right, all right. I've got it set up. It's got two, three, four, and five. Whatever number that lands on, it's the page we'll go to.
Hmm.
All right, I'm spinning it. It's landed on four. So I guess we're going to page four.
Okay, sure.
All right,
Hmm.
let's go to page four. It isn't really a poison, you know, a strange voice behind you whispers. You turn from the handmade sign you were reading, the one that says Beware, Poison Lake. You find an old woman standing behind you. Her gray hair tumbles down over a long flowered dress. Excuse me? You ask politely. Normally you wouldn't talk to strangers, but everyone in Parsons Village is a stranger to you, and your family just arrived yesterday from for a 2 week vacation. 2 week vacation? I thought this was just the weekend.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah,
Changes
whatever.
things.
I'm just whatever. All right. Of course, the minute you and your parents got to your rented cabin, you wanted to go swimming, but your next door neighbors told you that you couldn't because the lake is poison. Well, what about this sign? You ask, pointing to it. It is a lie, the lady whispers. I know the real story, and I'll tell you, I'll tell it to you. Meet me at the gazebo on the town green in 10 minutes. You watch as she disappears down the street. Why would someone want to lie about the lake being poison? You wonder. Whatever the reason, the old woman's story sounds too juicy. You have to find out what it is. Meet her in the gazebo on page 62. Right. The old woman hobbles up the steps to the gazebo. She glances around to make sure no one is listening. I was I was afraid they were following me, the woman explains, checking over her shoulder again. I had to take the long way here. Who would follow you? You ask. The Bittermans. The Bittermans, she answers. They're the ones who made up the story about Poison Lake. You stare at her confused. The Bittermans? They're the neighbors who told you to stay out of the lake in the first place. It started 15 years ago, the old woman explains. There was a jewel robbery about 100 miles from here. The thieves ran from the police and hid the jewels at the bottom of Parsons Lake. The police hauled the crooks off to jail, but the Benjamins saw the thieves hide the jewels, saw the whole thing from their porch overlooking the lake. She pauses. I don't get it, you say, shaking your head. What does that have to do with the lake being poison? I'll tell you, the old woman says with a smile, motioning for you to come closer. Find out the secret on page 76. All right, 76. The Bittermans made up the story about the lake being poisoned, the old lady whispers, so that no one else will go into the lake and find the jewels. They're greedy. They want to find the jewels and keep them for themselves. boy, you think it would be great if this woman is right, if the lake isn't poison. So you think it's safe to swim? You ask sort of meekly. I think it's safe to go looking for the jewels, the woman says with a twinkle in her eye. Then she hobbles down the gazebo steps and totters off across the green. A moment later, she's gone. You wonder. Go looking for the jewels in Poison Lake? Sounds like an adventure. And at least you wouldn't be bored with nothing to do in this tiny little town. Then again, do you really want to take the chance? After all, the old lady could be wrong. Alright, we're given our first choice in the book. If
Oh.
you're willing to go into the lake, turn to page 32. If you're not, turn to page 87.
Hmm. Ooh. Huh. Okay, so wait, so it's poisonous. Yeah, it's poisonous, 100%, right? Well, it's not. It's a
I
myth.
mean,
It's a myth.
but we don't really know if that woman is telling we don't really know if she's telling the truth or not. Some people are saying it's poison, but she's saying it's not, and it was only made up so that people would stay away from the jewels, from the Bittermans,
I see. I
or
see.
people who want to keep jewels that were stolen by thieves and who hid it in the lake and they want it for themselves.
Interesting. Huh. Okay.
Dude,
Uh.
this is almost like the Goonies a little bit, but different.
Yeah. Yeah. True.
I Come on, they're basically telling us that we need to go in the lake.
Yeah.
I bet like
That's screaming
if we
point.
say we're I'm what I think is gonna happen if we say no, it's gonna be like, oh, are you too scared? Well we'll we'll go read a different book. Yeah, it's probably gonna be like one of those where it's gonna mock us
Yeah.
for being too wimpy.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably makes. I
I
mean,
think
makes sense.
we have to go into the lake.
Yeah. Agreed. We have to.
Yeah, it's basically telling us to.
Yeah.
Alright, let's go to page 32. The old woman must be right, you decide. At least she really sounded like she knew what she was talking about. Besides, how could a whole lake be poison? You're going in, you decide. Even if you don't find any jewels, at least you will have gone swimming. You hurry back to your cabin, change into your bathing suit, and start down toward the edge of the water. But behind the cabin, you see a note from your parents sitting on a picnic table. It's next to some food covered in plastic wraps. The note says, here's your lunch, a ham sandwich and chocolate milk. We've gone into town. See you later, and stay out of the lake. Stay out of the lake? No way, you think. You're not going to be fooled by some greedy neighbor or stupid rumors. I'll eat later, you mutter to yourself. You run full speed and plunge in with a big splash into the water. Come to the surface on page 23. Alright. Splash! You swim underneath until you reach the floating dock out in the middle of the lake. What? Oh, wait, no, sorry. Oh, the water feels so good. It's a little muddy and brown, but compared to the heat of the day, it's heaven. Poison, you mutter. Yeah, right. You climb onto the floating dock and sit in the sun for a moment. You stare at the water. Could there really be jewels down there? If there are, they could be hidden anywhere, you realize. Maybe even right under this dock. If you find them, you'd be famous, maybe even rich. Even if you didn't get to keep the jewels, you'd get a huge reward for sure. Maybe you'll just take a quick look around to see if you spot them. You dive into the water and swim to the bottom. You glance around, searching for something shiny. Nope, nothing. You kick to the surface, rest, and dive back down to keep searching. Yow! A twisted pain rips through your stomach. Your stomach. What's what's that about? Find out what it is on page 133. Wow, your stomach is killing you. It twists so hard that you grab your side. What's happening? What's happening? Wonder in a panic. Was that old lady wrong? Is Poison Lake really poisonous? Is the water killing you? Your stomach twists again and growls. Growl. Growls? You burst out laughing. You're just hungry. You've been in the water for a long time, and you never ate lunch. You swim back to shore and walk, dripping back to the cabin. You dry off and gobble down your sandwich and chocolate milk. Then you hang around on land for a while, reading a book. Man, you think the temperature must be rising. I feel hotter and hotter every minute. Your stomach churns. Hey, what was that? You just ate. You can't be hungry again. Suddenly you feel something coming up and out of your gut, rising in your throat like some kind of horrible creature. What is it? Quick, let it out on page 123. Did we just get sick from that lake? There must have been
Probably.
some nasty chemicals in there.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So it really is poisonous. Well, or at least in a way
Well, maybe
poisonous.
not poisonous. We would have died if we went into a poisonous lake.
Yeah.
But we're not. But I think we might have just swallowed some nasty chemical. Every sort not really sure what kind of bacteria goes in the lake, but I'm sure there's some stuff in it, but it's not
Oh yeah.
poison.
Oh yeah, yeah, true. Oh yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that can live in lakes, but like this stuff to this scale, I wouldn't call it poisonous. That it's more like I don't know how would it work? How would it work? Yeah, yeah, but I agree, it's not poisonous.
Yeah, that because okay. Well, either way, let's turn to page 123. All at once, you open your mouth and your lunch comes out. You throw up in the grass. Your head is hot, you're sweating, and you feel sicker than you ever been in your life. Oh man, you think that old woman was wrong. The lake really is poison. I'm going to die. Unless maybe someone can help you. Your parents still aren't home, and you've got to ask someone else. Someone who lives in one of the other houses around the lake. The Bitterman's house is right next door. But you can't go there, can you? They're the ones who made up the stories about Poison Lake, right? Then again, the old woman told you that. And right now, it looks like she was totally wrong. Maybe the Bittermans know why the lake is poisonous. And maybe they know how to help you. It's hard to know for sure. Looks like you need a little luck here. Well, alright, we're given a choice. But here's the thing. Alright, here's what it's saying. If you go to the Bitterman's house, turn to page 81. If you want to try a little luck, use your lucky number 4 and go to page 44.
Ooh, okay. I mean, we just
I think,
thrown up our lunch. Like,
but here's the, it's, I think this, the main, I think the running gag in this book is going to be like lucky numbers.
yeah, true.
Well, I mean, are you feeling lucky right now?
Yeah, I believe. I mean, yeah, but what if happens if we do go to the Bannerman's house, whatever? Uh, like, I don't know because the lady said they wanted to like store all their treasure and whatnot. What if they just see us? They're all like, oh, they're trying to get the treasure, and they're gonna like get rid of us or something.
But we don't know if that old woman is lying or not. Because
Yeah,
we're
agreed.
thinking the lake really is poisonous. Like, how did we get sick?
Yeah, exactly. It's doesn't sound realistic, you know.
What if the Bittermans are actually just normal people trying to live their life and the old woman is trying to get them arrested?
Good point, actually. Yeah, that's a good point. Hmm.
Yeah, they're probably just trying to live their life, and that old woman is trying to get them exposed
Yeah,
for something they
exactly.
didn't do.
Yeah, yeah. Now that I think about it, that's actually kind of right. Actually, I mean, I mean, there's evidence to prove it.
Let's go to the Bitterman's house. I don't really feel too lucky to use because we picked this number at random. We didn't.
Yeah, yeah. Agreed.
All right, let's go to the Bitterman's house.
Mhm.
Page 81. All right, 81. Holding your stomach, you drag yourself through the trees to the house next door, the Bitterman's house. You knock on the door, no answer, but there are cars parked outside. So someone has to be home, right? Hello, you call, pounding, pounding on the door again. Anyone here? No answer. You're about to turn around and leave when a pair of hands grabs you from behind and locks onto your throat. Turn around on page 39. You cry. You feel the hands begin to squeeze. You swing your arms around, struggling to get free. Calm down, the man says. Gave you a scare, did I? He lets go of your throat and spins you around to face him. It's Mr. Bitterman, with his wife. The two of them seem to be coming back from a walk in the woods. Just kidding around, he says. You rub your neck. Ha ha, you think. Not funny. These people are weird. But you don't care. You need help, and fast. You feel like you're going to throw up again. Mrs. Bitterman notices the sick expression on your face and frowns. Are you all right? She asks, sounding genuinely concerned. No, you moan. I'm sick. I went swimming in the lake, and now I'm so sick. Oh dear, Mrs. Bitterman says. Come into the house and lie down, quick. Go into the house? You know you shouldn't go into strangers' houses, but you really need help, so follow them into the house on page 11. Mrs. Bitterman leads you to a sofa in the den. She brings you water to drink and a cool cloth for your head. She tucks a light blanket around you. Then she tiptoes to the door. On her way out, she says, I hope you've learned your lesson about swimming in Poison Lake. I sure have, you answer. I'll never go in there again. Good, Mrs. Bitterman says with a smile. But am I? Am I going to be okay? You ask. Oh, probably, Mrs. Bitterman answers brightly. She closes the door. Weird, you think? She didn't seem very worried about you. Not since you said you wouldn't go back into the lake. You lie on the couch for an hour or more. Soon you feel better. You get up and start to open the den door. But you hear voices in the living room. The Bittermans talking. Good work, Mr. Bitterman says to his wife. That rotten raw egg you put in the chocolate milk did the trick. A good case of food poisoning. Just what we needed. Food poisoning? Whoa! What's going on here? Oh my god. They put a rotten egg in our chocolate milk. That's why we are sick.
Yeah.
So
I didn't see that coming.
they so they wrote the note and put it at our our parents' cabin, and we thought they put it we thought our parents put it there, but they put it there to get us out of the way because they suspect us to be taking the gems.
I mean,
So it all makes sense now.
yeah,
It wasn't the lake. It was a rotten egg in the chocolate milk all along.
yeah, basically.
All right, we're gonna be nosy and eavesdrop some more on page 18. No choice in the matter. The Bittermans tried to give you food poisoning. They must have done it while you were swimming, and your food was sitting on the picnic table to make you think the lake was poison. And it nearly worked. You listen a minute more, but the door cracked open just slightly. The Bittermans are talking about the jewels and how they found them and have hidden them one rowboat length away from the dock. Anyway, they're all ours now, Mr. Bitterman says. When the time is right, we'll grab them and get out of this dump. I don't think that kid will go near the lake again or give us any more trouble. Yikes! Alright, here's what it's saying here. Get out of the Bitterman's house as soon as possible on page 45. But then it's saying this. Or do you want to take some precautions and use your lucky number first?
Ooh.
And then it's giving this. Add your lucky number 4 to this page number and plus 18. 4 plus 18 equals 22. Turn to lucky page 22.
Ooh.
So it's either saying we can either try to be lucky or try and get out of the house as soon as possible.
Hmm. I mean, should we wait? Wait, did we get caught or whatever? Eavesdropping on them?
No, they haven't
Yeah.
noticed us yet.
Okay. I think we could try a lucky number. I guess. Might as well use it.
But then again, what if
Yeah.
this lucky number really isn't lucky and it's just a trap?
Yeah. True. But what if there's because they said uh what's it? But what if they like get past the doors? What if they like block the door or something? You know. I mean, not saying it will happen, but still.
All right, well, let's try and let's see what the if even if this is wrong, we'll still have 2 more lives.
True.
All right, page 22. You place 4 small pillows under the blanket Mrs. Bitterman gave you. That way, if the Bittermans come in to check on you, you won't notice. They won't notice that you're gone. You open a window and slip out of the Bitterman's house. This is my lucky day, you think? As you head toward the lake, you find a rowboat sitting there, just waiting for you. You climb in and row out to the dock. Finally, you plunge into the water, exactly 1 rowboat length from the dock. On your first dive, you find the box full of jewels. Wow, talk about lucky. Swim to the surface carrying the old rusty box. That's when you hear the sound of a small motorboat headed your way. Uh-oh, has your luck run out? Turn to page 67 to find out. Your heart pounds as you realize it's the Bittermans. They pull their motorboat up next to you.
Thought you could get to the jewels first, did you?
Mrs. Bitterman says in a nasty tone of voice. Whoops, so much for your lucky day. Mr. Bitterman pulls out a thick rope and begins tying it to a large heavy anchor, but the other end of the rope isn't attached to anything yet. Then he leans toward you and grabs for you. Oh no, you realize they're going to tie the other end of the rope to you. They're trying to drown you. Hurry to page 107. You drop the metal box and swim toward the shore as hard as you can, but Mr. Bitterman twists the other end of the rope into a lasso. Then he tosses it around your shoulders. He got you. Splash! Uh-oh, that was the sound of the anchor hitting the water, and the other end of the very short rope is tied to you. Looks like you're in deep trouble now. Don't bother opening your mouth to scream, unless you like the taste of muddy lake water. Besides, you sound pretty funny when you say the only 2 words left in your vocabulary. Glug glug. The end. Wow, the
Damn. Never expected that.
Bittermans literally drowned us.
Yeah, basically. Never expected. I mean, saw it coming, but never expected it. To be honest. Wait, what? How does that make sense?
So
I knew something was gonna happen.
the lucky number wasn't lucky.
Damn.
But we still have 2 lives left, so
Yeah.
let's go back to where we were and try to get out of the Bitterman's house as fast as we can this time on page 45.
Mhm.
Your heart pounds as you glance around the room, searching for a way to escape. There's a window with a screen. But can you slip out of it without being heard? Quietly, you tiptoe to the window and wait for the Bittermans to start talking again. While they're speaking, you raise the sliding screen. Let me out of here, you think, as you climb out the window. You land safely on the other side. Now, what should you do? You could go get your parents, tell them everything, let them handle the Bittermans. Or you could head down to the water, grab a rowboat, and find the jewels before the Bittermans get there. Alright, we're given a choice. Go tell our parents, or go to the rowboat.
Hmm. Huh. Ha. Wait, isn't wait, so the robot's gonna will give us the same ending?
No, no,
Or...
no, no, no. This is a
No.
different page. This is 51.
Oh,
That
okay.
that other one was 67.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I see, I see, okay. Huh.
Here's what I'm thinking. If we tell our parents, they're just gonna say, have you lost your mind?
Yeah, exactly.
Goosebumps
There's,
parents are useless.
yeah, yeah,
Let's
100% I
just get on
agree.
that rowboat and see what happens this time.
Yeah.
Alright, we're heading on to the rowboat. You're off to the lake, you decide. You've got to find those jewels before the Bittermans take them. It's the only way to prove the truth to everyone that the lake isn't poisonous, but the Bittermans are. You sneak across the grass toward the water. An old rowboat is sitting there, under the trees. It's sort of wet, as if someone used it recently. Maybe it's the Bittermans, you decide. You hope so. If you have their boat, they won't be able to follow you out to the dock. With a heave, you turn the boat over and climb in. 2 oars are still attached to the sides. You row out to the dock in the middle of the lake. Quietly, you slip into the water and begin diving. You plunge under, exactly 1 rowboat length from the deck. It takes a few tries, but finally you feel something down there. Feel it with your foot. A box. An old rusty box, lying in the mud. Pull it out on page 70. Using both hands, you tug on the old metal box, but it's stuck. It won't come loose. You're running out of air. Desperate for breath, you yank on it one more time before shooting to the surface, gasping. Whew! You got it. Hello? An old, a deep voice says into your ear. You spin around in the lake to see who's behind you. You yelp. Mr. and Mrs. Bitterman are swimming right there in the water beside you.
You're not going to beat us to the jewels.
Mrs. Bitterman says. She reaches out and places her palms on your head. She begins to push harder, forcing you under. Try to escape on page 60. No! You want to scream, but you can't. You're completely underwater. Mrs. Bitterman pushes harder, harder. Your heart pounds wildly, wildly. Air! You have to get air! You duck down lower than Mrs. Bitterman's hand. You kick your feet and swim off sideways. You pop to the surface and gasp for breath. Help! You scream. Help! Your heart sinks when you realize you're too far out in the lake for anyone to hear you. You turn. The Bittermans are swimming toward you. You have to get out of here.
Fire!
An old woman's voice shouts from the shore.
Fire!
Fire? You're screaming for help, and some woman is calling fire. But hey, you realize, you know that woman. You recognize her voice. Turn to page 112. I guess it's that old woman we saw in the beginning. Page 112. You squint and stare at the figure on the shore. Yes, it's the old woman you met in town. The one who told you about the jewels in the first place.
Fire!
She cries over and over again.
Fire!
People rush out of the houses that circle the lake. As soon as a crowd forms, the old woman points at the dock.
Look, she cries. The Bittermans are out there, trying to drown that kid.
When the Bittermans hear the old woman, they swim away. They try to hide in the water on the far side of the dock, but people on the opposite side of the lake can see them. They grab the Bittermans from the lake. A man in a small motorboat zooms out to rescue you. You can see that he's wearing a police uniform. Give me your hand, he instructs you. And, and don't try to escape, Bittermans, he calls. You are under arrest. Wait, you tell him as he tries to lift you from the water. There's something down there that I have to get. Turn to Lucky Page 104. While the policeman keeps an eye on the Bittermans, you dive to the bottom of the lake. You find the box of jewels and pull it up. You toss it into the policeman's boat for the ride to shore. You can barely contain your happiness when you reach the shore, carrying the rusted metal box under your arm. You quickly set it on the ground and open it up. Tons of diamonds, rubies, and emeralds glitter at you from inside. Yes! You found the jewels! You're rich!
My jewels.
The old woman in the flowered dress says when she sees the box. She gives you a hug, even though you're dripping wet.
You finally found my jewels.
Your jewels? You ask wide-eyed. Wait a minute. What's going on here? Find out on page 120.
The whole story I told you about the robbery was true, the old woman explains, except I left one thing out. Those jewels were stolen from me. They were all I had in the world, and I've been without them for so long. But I had a feeling you'd find them. That's why I told you the story, and that's why I followed you here. And I was right. You found them for me. You're my hero.
The crowd lets out a big cheer for you. Well, you may not be rich, but helping this woman out sure feels good.
Now that I have my jewels back, I'll give you a reward.
The woman tells you. A reward? Wow, you say when you catch your breath. And that's not all. The policeman joins in. I think the people of Parsons Village owe you something too. They do? You ask. We owe you a big thanks because you're finally proved to us that the lake isn't poison, he says. We can all go swimming now. In fact, I think we're going to have to come up with a new name for this lake. He thinks for a moment. Hey, why don't we name the lake after you? And that's just what they do in the end. Wow!
Yeah.
Not only did the Bittermans get arrested and we found the jewels, but we proved that the town that the lake isn't poisoned and they renamed it after us.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, wow. I mean, I wasn't expecting that.
But I mean, you never know what you would expect in a Goosebumps book.
Yeah, yeah, if there's anything I gotta go off that because like you don't know what's gonna happen, you always have to be on your like, even if you're 100% sure about something, you can't predict everything.
Yep. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this Choose Your Own Adventure live stream of Weekend at Poison Lake. Next time will be The Twisted Tale of Tiki Island, which seems to be some sort of island-based story. Anyways, we'll see you there next time on Reddy Linx's Choose Your Own Adventures adventure live streams. Goodbye!